私には歌しかありませんから。だから遊んでいる暇はありません。すみません。もういいですか？集中したいので。
Is there a regret that's always in the back of your mind? A painful memory that won't go away no matter how hard you try, a sin that you can't forgive yourself for. A reminder that brings itself up wherever you look with a weight so great that you feel it crushing you every day of your life. It doesn't matter if what you did was your fault or not, it still happened and you still take that blame. What would it take to repay that sin? The Idolmaster is a story of idols reaching for the top, each with their own goals in mind as they strive together with their agency to become the greatest idols ever. It's that light of the stage that each of them desires, the wonder of dancing and singing to their heart's content. But for Kisaragi Chihaya, the stage is far too bright for her. The reason she sang was merely because she had nothing else left except for a promise she made. Because of this, Chihaya never smiled. She worked as hard as she could to be an idol and please her fans, but not once did she seem like she enjoyed it. The only time she ever showed any passion was when she sang. She had to sing, she had no choice. Anything that didn't involve her using her voice was something she felt was a waste of time, because it was something she needed to do. But despite her passion she clearly had for singing, she never smiled when she did it. In fact, she almost looked sad. It didn't always used to be that way though. When she was younger, she loved to sing. When she did so, her demeanor lit up in an instant and her face was filled with joy. When her little brother, who she loved with all her heart, was in pain, she would sing for him, and his face lit up just like hers. Just like she loved singing, her little brother Yu loved it when she sang. Her little brother, who Chihaya loved to sing for, however, wasn't there anymore. He cried out her name, yet she didn't save him, and now her only audience member was gone. But Chihaya decided to follow through on that promise she made to Yu. She would continue to sing because that's what he loved, because that was the only way she could make up for what she did. Singing, which Chihaya once loved dearly, was now no more than her punishment for not being able to save her brother. It was all she could do to keep that promise and continue to sing because that was all she had left. It didn't matter what anyone told her, it was her fault and only she could make it right. Punishing herself every day because how could singing be fun anymore if he's not there to watch her? If her singing is just a reminder of the blood that was spilled on her hands. To her, an idol was simply a tool for her to be able to keep singing, to keep that promise that she made to her brother. What choice did she have? It was all she had left. Chihaya never really got close to the other girls in 765 Pro. Aside from Haruka, Chihaya never seemed to have much of a relationship and interacted with them merely as co-workers. Even though she was surrounded by people striving to be at the top, they seemed to have something she didn't. With every practice they had, every audition and every performance, all these girls with dreams looked like they were having fun. They were enjoying every moment of being an idol because that's the reason they looked up to the sky in search of their goal. Chihaya didn't have that. All she wanted was to sing and keep that promise she made because that was her duty, her punishment for the mistake that she made. But slowly, she began to notice something. After spending all this time with these girls who had dreams and chose to enjoy every last second of it, she felt as if she didn't have to see this merely as some duty.
千早は本当に歌が好きなんだな。聞き惚れちゃったよ。どうだ？歌ってすっきりしたか？
ええ、少しだけですけど。
なんだな。俺も千早に歌の仕事が来るようにもっと努力しないとな。今すぐには無理だけど、いつかきっとな。
Her producer, who put so much on the line for her, saw that. Even though she thought it was the only thing she had left, Chihaya loved to sing. He would do everything in his power so that she would be able to do that which she loved. She had fans who were excited to see what she would do. The other members of 765 Pro encouraged her as well, urging her to try her best alongside them as they all laughed together, Chihaya included. Maybe she didn't have to think of this as some kind of duty. As she and 765 Pro practiced together, danced together and cheered each other on, Chihaya thought to herself for a moment that maybe, just maybe, she could enjoy this. Little by little her heart began to soften. She was a little more friendly to everyone else and every once in a while smiled, but never when she sang. That past that held her back became something she felt that she could forget. Even though she started to feel like she could enjoy herself, that dark cloud in the back of her mind kept creeping back in until it eventually overwhelmed her once again. Everyone in the country knew about what she did, that past that she had kept from everyone else and tried to push into the back of her mind. How could she forget? How could she even think she had the right to enjoy what she was doing after what she did? The only reason she became an idol was to sing for the sake of her brother who she couldn't save. The weight of that sin that she held as the world gossiped about her grew and grew until it overwhelmed her, crushing her throat with guilt. Chihaya couldn't sing. Those days she thought she earned were undeserved. She sat there alone in the dark, wallowing in her pain that she felt. The world knew what she did. And now that she couldn't sing, how could she be an idol? How could she stand on that stage with the light that shined on her and all of her ugliness that she thought she could hide? But her friends were there. They never left her even in that time of darkness. Their friend was in trouble and they couldn't get through to her, so they did the only thing that they could. They wrote her a song. Yakusoku, meaning promise, is a song that is directed in 3 different ways. The first was from 765 Pro to Chihaya. Hey now, I'm watching over you. Even though we are far apart, love for you, my heart is always right next to you. Wipe your tears and smile, you are never alone. To dream is to live, to have the power to overcome sadness. She didn't have to feel guilt over what she did. She was only a child and there was nothing she could have done. She didn't have to punish herself because that's not what you wanted for her, not what they wanted for her. The promise you made with her was to keep singing because it wasn't the singing itself that made him happy. It was the bright smile that appeared on her face when she sang that filled you with joy. He loved Chihaya's singing because he loved it when his precious older sister was happy. The idols of 765 Pro stood there on the stage when Chihaya once again couldn't sing those words, encouraging her once more that she deserved the right to dream, to overcome the pain in her heart. The crowds full of fans that had supported her along the way cheered her on from the audience when she couldn't even sing. That day, Chihaya realized that she was surrounded by people who didn't care what she had done, but only wanted to see her smile and hear her sing. And so, with that push that they gave her, Chihaya opened up her eyes and sang. The second way that Yakusoku was directed was from Chihaya back to 765 Pro. She would walk with them to the future. She would sing once more, not brought down by sadness but filled with the joy and love that she felt all this time. This time she would be an idol, not for some sense of duty but because the promise she made was to love every day of her life, because that's what you wanted for her. She decided that she loved singing, she loved practicing, she loved doing all of those silly variety shows and acting gigs because with her were people who loved her and watching her were people who were calling out her name. Let's walk. No turning back now. Let's sing with our companions. Let our wishes reverberate. Let's make a promise to fulfill our dreams. Thank you for love. Like our innocent days, reach out our arms for the sky. Keep chasing our dream toward the unknown future. The last direction this song was towards was from Chihaya to her beloved little brother that she cherished. No longer saddened by the guilt that she thought she had to keep when she sang, her heart was full of joy. That smile that he loved would fill her every time she stood on that stage and sang like she once loved to do. Hey, if I close my eyes, I can see your smiling face. Your love for me is like a light illuminating gently. I can hear your voice saying, let me see your dazzling smile. Pain will someday turn into courage. Memories will become love. This girl who once stood upon that stage with a face full of sadness and a heart full of pain, now stood upon that stage shining brightly with that smile filled with love. That smile that her brother adored would be what she held as she walked on towards the future with her precious comrades that picked her up when she couldn't stand, a favor that she repaid to Haruka who came running to her aid. 765 Pro was her home. full of people who would always come to her aid when she needed it. That stage where she thought she was alone in the dark suddenly became illuminated with lights that called out her name. Finally, Chihaya would walk on that path to the top idol with hope in her heart. The chains of guilt that she put on herself were gone and she was free, like Sleeping Beauty trapped in a nightmare. Chihaya was finally awake. Thank you guys for watching another video in the 12 days of anime. This one is about the Idolmaster because yes, there are other shows in the idol genre, whatever, that are actually very good. You should check out the Idolmaster. It's probably one of my favorite anime and is the best anime A1 Pictures has and ever will make. You should check it out. I would like to now thank my patrons, namely people like FlutterrodButt, The Pretentious One, Chandler Makes Video, Numanji, and ChezMix. If you want news on videos that are coming out, you can always follow me on Twitter or check out my Discord. If you don't want to be a slave and patron me, you can always check out my coffee. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.